get in now. Right, okay, so we'll just bending the knees and just coming into our march, but just sort of lifting the knees up a little bit higher. So straight away, you're sort of thinking about engaging your abdominals. And then we're just taking the elbows back and working into the shoulders. And lift the knees a little bit higher. I'm going to slow down. So opposite elbow to the knee that lifts. And then start to bring the hand up and the elbow a little bit further forwards. And then we're just going to slow that down. And although it's slower, it sometimes just helps improve balance as we start to slow it down. So now let's try and really slow. And see how that feels for our balance. Okay, last one. Brilliant, okay. So we're just going to roll the shoulders. We'll bend the knees and roll. So bend and roll. And then just take the arms a little bit wider from the circle. And we're sort of almost into a big circle now. And then take the arms the other way. So we start large. And then we're going to go a bit smaller. And a little bit sort of quicker. I'm just making this up. Just get ourselves mobilized. Okay. And then what we're going to do is just going to take one arm out and then the other. So stretch across. That's it. So one elbow bends, the other one straightens. You can really feel that in your shoulders actually. Stretch away. Okay. Last one on each side. And come back. Right, written a little bit of information. So we're going to do shoulders. We're going to just literally lift and then just lower. And lift back up and just let them go. So really like lots of tension and then release it all. Get rid of all that tension from your shoulders. Last one. And release. Then we'll, haven't done our neck. It's funny when I go right through what I'm going to do. And I was thinking, oh, the neck. We haven't done that for a few sessions. So hips facing forward, abdominals engaged, relaxing the shoulders, taking the neck to the one side. So just make sure, I didn't say, did I sort of lengthen slightly and then take to the side. So you should feel that at the top of the back and then relax back into the middle, slightly lengthen. Into the middle, lengthen and over. Back into the middle, lengthen and over to the other side. And relax, back to the middle. Then we just take the neck over to one side and then we'll encourage, lengthen and then take over. Encourage that neck over. And bring it back up, lengthen and encourage over. And release. Lovely. Okay. Oh, I forgot to say, I'm terrible. I just never get you prepared. Have you got loop bands at all close by? I'm going to do a little bit with that. I mean, obviously this will work you a bit harder. So you don't have to use them, but we'll put them on. We'll just do a little bit of work, lower and upper body. Let's start with the band around the ankle, not the ankles, the calves first. There you go. Yeah, I need to sort myself out. I never seem to get you prepared. I've written it at the top of my pad as well. So we'll start off standing upright, abdominals engaged. Let's just take the weight into one leg, but we don't want to lean too much. And we just want to see if we can circle. So we're going forwards and back. You can use the other arm, the other opposite side, just to help with balance if you want to. And then change the direction, so from back to the front. Last one. Then just walk it out for a sec. Get yourself back into position and then stretch into that circle. Again, quite good for balance. And change direction. So when you see me Thursday, I will have had my hair cut. Yay! One of the ladies can't make tonight. She's having her hair cut now. Ooh. So I'm concentrating so much on having my hair cut, thinking about it, I'm going to fall over. Okay, last one. Okay, next thing we'll do is we'll take the leg behind. So we're going to squeeze and release. So again, abdominals engaged, just lean forward slightly. You can actually bend the knee just very slightly on the supporting leg. So we're squeezing into your buttocks, into your glute muscles. It shouldn't be affecting your back. So nothing here is changing. I can't do two things at once. Last one. And then just walk it out a second. And change it to the other side. You can always take it slightly back first. Leaning forward, abdominals engaged, and squeeze. Two more. And one. Okay. And then what we do is we just move it so it's around. I was looking for my bands last night and I can't find my thick ones. God knows where. This one just does that. It's really uncomfortable. I think the thicker you get, the more the band that's more advanced and harder to use. That's better. Okay. Well, it doesn't tend to do that. So first of all, we're going to squeeze the knees. And as we do that, we start to bring the bottom down, push down into your heels and squeeze the knees out a little bit more and come all the way back. So you should feel it here as you come back up if you're doing it correctly. So push back down, keep the knees squeezed out, arms forward, abdominals again engaged, and back up again. So then we'll do 8 quickly, not quickly, but 1, 2, keep the knee squeezed out, 3, 4, 5, buttocks squeezed, 6, 7, and 8. Wonderful. Okay, then shake the legs. Then we'll take and off. And you can either use your long band for dumbwaiter or no band or this band. This is a bit harder. It's up to you. So you're going to place whichever band you're using around the palms of the hand, elbows in, and we just do a little bit of a squeeze. So really what I want you to do is I want you to squeeze shoulders back first, and I want them to squeeze together as you open out. Breathe out and in. So this, it's quite hard with the band, or this band, the loop band. So last one with the band. And then we'll put the band to the side and go back into that position. Squeeze the shoulders back and down and without the band. So you just get a slightly different movement. It's just targeting slightly different muscles because you're able to go a lot further out. Although obviously if you've got the blue, the long band, you might have done that already. And then we're going to add in 2 pulses and back in. So thinking about palms in line with your elbows, palms are facing upwards and keeping the shoulders squeezed back and down. Last one now. Okay, brilliant. And then we're just going to circle the arm and then the other arm and then come forwards and come forwards. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is a twist for the waist. So again, so abdominals engaged, arms out in front, keep the hips facing forward, and we're just going to twist to one side and back in, shoulders relaxed and back into the middle. So looking where you're going. And always you should feel the abdominals engage as you twist to the side. And hips stay facing forwards. Last one. And just relax the arms. Right. Okay, yeah. Next thing we'll do is we'll stretch up with one arm, take it into a lateral flexion, abdominals engaged, and then lift, bring the arm down, take it to the other side, abdominals engaged, and over. And coming back up, go back to the first side, abdominals, and over. Stretch up, change over, abdominals, and back over, and up. Super. Now it's going to be knee lifts. So we're going to lift one leg to about hip height and then coming back down and stay on that leg. Actually take it back and lift. It's good for balance. And lift. Oh, I've lost my balance completely. Okay. Just got to engage those abdominals to help. And tap this last one. Take it forwards, change to the other side. You should feel the abdominals engage a little bit as you lift. We do 2 more. And 1. Okay. Yeah, I've got that one. Okay. I quite like this one actually. This is the leg lift that we do. So I think probably the best thing to do is bring the knee up first and tap, and then you come up with a straight leg. So it's knee, straight, but you want to do knee and bring the arms down. And I want you to keep the torso quite lifted. And obviously your flexibility, it would depend on flexibility. I'd rather you keep that lifted rather than going down to meet your leg. So I want you to, I don't want your back sort of going into flexion. That's it. So you should feel your abs working quite hard, also the hip flexors. Last one on that side. Brilliant. And then change over to the other side. So knee in, down. So bring the arms up each time. And actually, when you stretch up, you can really feel a good stretch around the torso. Last one. Okay, perfect. So just the heels now, lifts. Put that back, it's more comfortable. So what we're going to do is we're going to lift the toes off and then lift the heels. So you go back, lift the toes, and then the heels. Oh, it's really weird. I feel like you're going to fall backwards. And then what we'll do is lift just the toes on their own, so keep the rest of the feet down, and then open out the toes, and then relax them and lift the heels off and back down. Lift the toes again, spread them out and relax them. And then we go just into pedals, lifting one heel and then the other. Okay, last one on each side. Bring both heels down. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to come down into all fours. And I'm going to do something slightly different tonight. We're going to mix all fours with going into prone onto our front. So it's slightly different. Just bring that down. And I'm going to try and sort of bring it into a flow. So we start off with a cat stretch. Let's see how this goes. So cat stretch is when you tuck the pelvis under and you're rounding the calf, drop the head, and then from that position, bring the knees behind, come down, and then you're going to go into your dart position. Stretch the lower back, abdominals are lifted and engaged. And then when you come back down towards the floor, bring the hands down, elbows behind you, and then stretch back up, down into shell stretch just briefly, and then back into your cat stretch, and then back down. So it's almost like doing a little bit of a press up, but press down, and then into your dart. Abdominals lifted, bring the hands, stretch back, up, cat stretch, and then use your triceps and your arm strength just to bring you down, ready to get lift back, dart position. Bring the hands down and back into shell stretch and back now into all fours position. And then we go straight into our Superman. So we stretch the opposite arm and leg. Abdominals are engaged and lifted, coming back in quite slowly, and then stretching the other side and coming back in and changing over and back in and stretch and back in and change over. Last one. Squeeze into the bottom and come back. And again, what we're going to do, we're going to come down. And this is going to go in, abdominals engaged, lifted, and this time we're going to lift the arms, so we're working to the triceps. So keep that, keep it lifted, keep working triceps. Last one, and then bring the arms out, and then we're going to come back up again. So it's a little bit different. So this time we're going to just take one leg out behind. We're going to lift and lower. So staying on that same side, lift and lower. So working hard not to move the rest of the body too much if we can help it. Last one on that side. Bring that knee in. Change over to the other side. Lift. Last one. And then have a quick rest off the wrists. You can go back to doing that same exercise with the knees down and just lifting one leg at a time. Or if you want to, so you can just do 4 on each side, or come up into plank position, lift and lower. Using the glutes, but it's a lot harder to lift. Last one, I think. And then bring the knees in, and just a quick rest into your shell stretch. And then back down. I said it was going to keep flowing. Back down, now onto your elbows. So we're going to do our half plank. And I'm going to give you another option in a second if you want to go up a level. Although we did half plank this morning and we kept taking the elbows away a bit further, and you can really feel it. And then we did a 30-second one. So we all worked hard this morning. And release. Okay, so for those of you that want to go up a level, well, yeah, I suppose it really is. You can either stay with the half plank and just hold that for about 10 seconds, or come up into a full plank. I'm just going to abdominals engaged, knees towards the floor, and stretch away into the calves, into the floor. Not quite to the floor, sorry. Otherwise you'll be making it easy. And stretch. So I'd like you to do 2 more of whatever you're doing, and then come back into a shell stretch. And just give yourselves a little bit of a rest, because it's flowing quite quickly. And then what we're going to do, back into all fours. This is the last all fours position exercise we're doing. We're just going to take the arm forward, come round, and then take it through. So we've got a rotation there. So we're going forward, change over to the other side and through. So you just got that little bit of a twist into your waist. It's quite good for working into the obliques. So forward first and through. It's good to do a bit of rotational work. It's not something that we do an awful lot of in our day-to-day lives. And then let's just do one more on each side. And then just come down into your shell stretch. And just hold that there for a second. If you want to take the arms a bit further forward, just to stretch into the shoulders. And then we'll take the stretch over to the right side. And back into the middle, over to the left side. Back into the middle. Okay, well done. So you've accomplished all of that. Your wrists and your shoulders at the moment, probably a bit sore. So now we're going to come down and do, excuse me, some side work. I'm going to challenge you tonight with having a go at, rather than bending that bottom knee, see if you can have a go with the straight leg. So you're going to come down into position. So we're going to keep legs. If you can't, don't worry. Just bring, bend that bottom leg, but have a go. So now you're straight, I want you to lift the waist, and that should engage your abdominals. And that position, we're just going to have a go at circling. So what you're going to find is as you take the circle back, your whole body wants to go back. So your abdominals will work a little bit, a lot harder. And that's good, because that's what we need. We need strong abdominals, especially deep ones. And then we'll change direction. So it's a bit more of a challenge tonight. And we'll just do one more circle and just bring that leg down. We're then going to try, this should be interesting, flexing that top leg and coming forwards and back. So I can't go anywhere near as far as I could normally go without putting too much pressure on that hand. So you just do what you feel comfortable with. And just try a little bit as you bring the leg back, squeeze into the buttocks just to go back a little bit and then come forwards. Last one. And then just bring that leg down for a second. Do whatever you need to do. Then with the top leg, we're going to point the foot downwards a bit. We're just going to lift and lower. So that toes are sort of pointing towards the foot that's on the ground. And just try and keep the shoulders relaxed if you can. Last one. Yeah, that was good. Okay, bend the knees if you need to give yourselves a bit of a pat to release, then do so. And then we'll come up and we'll try all that on the other side. Just going to push mine down a bit. Okay. So we're starting with those circles, but before you do, just make sure you're stretched out. Abdominals are really engaged, and then you can start. It will help with the balance as well if they are engaged. And you can feel that when I can feel it as I take the leg back in that circle. Feel them engage a bit more. And then change direction. Yeah, it's more of a challenge. Last one of the circle. Okay, and just bring that leg down. So now you're going to just slightly readjust, just check that you're in a good position. And then you're going to flex the top foot and bring it forwards. It feels really strange. You might topple over, but don't worry. Yeah, it's a lot more of a challenge. I think we'll just do one more. And just rest for a second. Oh, I've really felt that. So both legs are straight again. We're going to point the foot down towards the floor and lift. and lower. You can really feel that in the glutes. Abdominals still engaged. And we'll just do one more. Perfect. Well done. Give yourselves a bit of a pat if you need to. And then coming up slowly. So what we'll do is we'll do some work on our backs. So this week, the session that I've recorded that I sent out, I think it was last night or this morning, last night, I think. We used, we did some sliding. So if you want to do that session, I put in the notes that you need to find 2 tea cloths, 2 tea towels, and then you put them under your feet and you'll be able to slide across the floor. Well, that's if it's a wooden floor, not the carpet. But yeah, so it might be worth, if you want to try that, something a little bit different. Okay, so we will come on to our backs now. We'll do our glute stretch first, actually. I think it'd be quite nice. So right leg over the left. Draw that knee away from you and just lift up. That feels super. That's really nice stretch. And just relax the shoulders. Through the nose. And then out through the mouth. Just slowing the breath down and just relaxing into that. And release. Change over to the other side. Encouraging the knee away and then lift. And keep sort of encouraging that knee away from you. So you really get the benefit of the stretch. And again, just nice deep breaths. And release. Okay. So let's do some toe taps. So bringing the legs up, imprinting the back into the floor so the abdominals are engaged. Hands can be on the abdominals if you want them to be. And we're going to tap down. And I'll tell you what we'll do actually. Let's do 2 taps on one side. Always engage the abs before you go back down. 2 taps on one side and then 2 taps on the other side. And then after the next one, just bring the knees into your chest. And then we'll bring one foot down, the other one into a flexed foot position and bring the other one up. And what we're going to do with this one, we're going to go one at a time. So we're going to go one down and then the other one comes up as the other one comes down. But all the time, engage the abdominals, imprint your back. Now, if you don't want to go all the way down, because your back's not able to cope, just bring it to whichever position you can to feel more comfortable on your back. Last one. Bring the knees in and just have a little roll from side to side. And then bring the feet together and take the knees out to the side. And we're going to just push away and back in. And again, abdominals are engaged. Back is imprinted. Last one. and bring the knees in. A little roll. Okay, and then single leg stretch. So keep one knee in, and when you're ready, into your single leg stretch. And again, as normal, it's lifted if you want to be. Back down, that's one thing. Or keep the head down, but your back definitely down, imprinted into the mat. And after each one, do one more on each side. And bring the knees back in, and then straight out, if you're able to, into your double leg stretch. Last one. And bring the knees into the chest, head down. And then we're going to do our, there's a bit of a hamstring stretch, is the scissors. So again, you've got your choices of head down. What we're trying to do is stretch the hamstrings. So see what you can do. So last one on each side, you can really feel that. And bring the knees in and roll from side to side. Okay, bring the feet down. Then we're going to do a little bit of work in our bridge position. So let's just start with just a lift and a lower, just a very small lift, squeezing the glutes, and then lowering back down. And we're going to lift a little bit higher. It's quite nice because when the spine has been working quite hard, this is quite a nice one just to almost sort of mobilize and just almost release it slightly as well. And just make sure the glutes are doing all the work and just coming up much higher now, or to the point where you glutes can't do any more, you can't go any further. And then rolling back through. Shoulders nice and released, relaxed. And then coming all the way back down. Bring the feet out wide. So you've got them sort of on the edge of the mat. And we just do the same thing. Squeeze. And all the way back down. So quite interesting to see how that feels, how different that feels. Can you engage the glutes as much? Oh, I felt that in my hip flexor then. Let's go steady. And then what we're going to do, we're going to roll back up into the bridge, keep the feet wide, hold that position. Hands just on the hip bones. And we're going to lift one at a time, lifting the heels off. And just be mindful of cramp, of course. I can feel that a little bit at the moment. It's a slightly different position to what we're used to. Last one. And then rolling down through. Okay, just give the legs a stretch if you need to. And then take your legs back into your sort of normal hip width apart position. And then we're going to lift and hold that position. Then let's bring the arms over, behind. So wherever you feel comfortable with regarding your shoulders. Feel the abdominals engaged a bit more now. Squeeze the glutes that little bit more. Keep lifting. Bring the arms back down to the floor. Keep that lifted shoulder bridge position. Take the arm and over. And then all the way back to the floor. And then now come down through your vertebrae, one vertebrae at a time. Relax the legs and just stretch the knees, stretch the legs. Okay. Before we do that, let's take up and we do some hug. So we're going to stretch, which is quite a nice stretch for the leg. And stretch away, opposite arm. A couple of times when it's quite difficult to get the position and keep that arm up. That stretch in the abdominals, so hold that for a second and then after this one, we're going to bring, imprint the back and then stretch. So only as far as you can still keep the back imprint into the so we're just doing side. Now we're going to do one and just hold that position. So you could be shaking. Keep the abdominals engaged. And then back. Trying to talk when you're stretching, it's not easy. And then change over. Keep that back. Very good. That's really good. So just bring the knees into the chest and a nice little roll from side to side. It's not as easy as it looks, is it? And then we're lifting the legs slightly. Actually, before we do the hip rolls, I'll just let you do something else. I just thought of it when we're in this position. So it's the reverse, I think we call it, what do I call it? Reverse curl? I can't remember anyway. Yeah, so we're going to lift. So using the abdominal, deep abdominal muscles, we lift the hips and the bottom off. So you want to breathe out as you lift, breathe in to lower. Love this one. I always tell you that, don't I? It must be quite boring, but you can really feel it work. Okay, just two more. And then bring the knees into the chest. Little roll from side to side, and then we'll do our hip rolls. So with the legs in bent knees, arms out to your side. And again, still using the abdominals because you don't want your legs to go too far over. So from side to side, abdominals engaged. And of course, if you want to bring the feet down to the floor, then please do so. And to be quite honest, sometimes it's actually quite a nice release. So do whatever feels okay for you. The last one. Bring the knees in. Brilliant. Okay. And then we'll just do a little stretch. So stretching the legs away. Take the arms over your head and a full body stretch, which we haven't done for a while actually. Stretch, you could feel the abdominals as you stretch into them. So it'd be interesting to see what you thought of that first bit. Something slightly different. It's nice to mix it up a bit. I think because now most of you are doing 2 classes a week at least, some of you are doing the 4 or the 5, then, you know, got to keep it fresh really. Okay, so we're going to take the arms over the head and come up to seated. And just stretch forward slightly. So bring the legs out slightly and just stretch forward. And then just come up slowly. Then we'll just roll each shoulder. Just suddenly feel hot now. I've been fine all the time. And then stretch the other side. Right, okay, so take a breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Really push that breath out all the way so you completely push it through all the way through, and then take another one in and out. Well done. That's really good. Thank